Hello everyone, and welcome to the summer edition of the Knipex update. It's nice to see you again. My name is Marc-André Schild, and today I'm going to present you our new products. Once again, we have been working on new tools and we have improved both form and function of existing models for you. So stay tuned, I promise you it will be worth it. We'll start with the ErgoStrip PV, a variant of our well-known ErgoStrip stripping tool that lets you strip common PV cables quickly and precisely. Then we'll take a look at the Multi-Crimp PV. The Multi-Crimp is a pair of crimping pliers with an interchangeable magazine. And the new PV version is now also suitable for PV installations. We'll continue with two wire strippers that have been significantly improved. Both pliers come in a new design, with better ergonomics and optimized application. Everyone knows the Knipex Cobra. We've equipped the Cobra ES with its extra slim design with new interesting features, and there is also a new size. And then we'll have the DP-T50 for you, a variant of the DP50, our pipe cutter for plastic drain pipes. The DP-T50 is specially designed for cutting thick-walled pipes. In the last Knipex update, I introduced you to the Prezi Force for crimping PV connectors, and I'd say that's exactly where we continue now. The first two of our new products are also for working on PV systems. So now it's time to get up on the roof. Okay, we are now on the roof of one of our production buildings, and as you can see, we have already installed PV systems here. For the new installation of such systems, but also for the maintenance and repair of these panels, which are often equipped with MC4 or MC4 Evo 2 connectors, we have two new products for you. And the best way to show you how they work is directly in action. Okay, we are now here at the solar panels, and this row and this row. These panels are already connected to each other. But now I need to connect this row to this row, and for that we need an extension. I'm going to lay the PV cable here through a corrugated plastic pipe, simply to protect it a little better from the weather. And then we'll go and take the Knipex twist cut and shorten the corrugated pipe at the appropriate point. This is done very quickly with one full rotation. Now I've got my corrugated pipe here and I can grab the PV cable and simply feed it in. And now we go over here. That's enough for me. And simply cut off the end with some cable shears, or in this case our electrical installation pliers. So, now we've already laid our PV cable in the conduit. We have the two ends here, and now we get to the two new products that we need for the next steps. First, I have to strip the ends and then of course crimp the corresponding MC4 connectors onto them. And that's where our first new product comes into play, the new ErgoStrip PV. You can already guess from its shape that it is based on our ErgoStrip, which most of you already know. They have a lot in common, such as the general shape or the upper section. As usual, you can process NIM cables from 3 by 1.5 to 5 by 2.5 with it. While you have this area on the normal ErgoStrip for stripping data cables or coax cables, we have designed this area on the ErgoStrip PV especially for PV cables. You can see this from the different form of the blades here. In other words, they protrude more because I have to cut deeper into the insulation. You'll see a second big difference when we open them up. You already know the view, but if we now take the ErgoStrip PV, you can see here that I have a length stop. And I can easily adjust it here with my thumb or index finger. For you to be able to tell them apart when you have them in your bag, because they do look identical this way, I'll turn the whole thing around. And there you can see it. The classic ErgoStrip, as you know it, is still red. The ErgoStrip PV has a blue bottom shell. But now let's strip these two cable ends. And now I'll simply insert the cable here. Press lightly here, once on the left, once on the right, and I've already stripped the first end. We put that in there, and we'll quickly do the same with the second one. So insert, once left, once right, pull off, and I also strip this end cleanly. The ErgoStrip PV has all the features that you already know from the ErgoStrip. a multi-component housing with a soft plastic zone for comfortable handling, and a secure grip, an opening aid that makes it easier to insert PV cables. The tapered tool ends for better accessibility to the workpiece, as well as an opening spring with a ratchet that makes work easier. The ErgoStrip PV also has the stripping function for NIM cables, from 3x15 to 5x25mm squared, and has the stripping holes from 0.2 to 4mm squared. The length stop and the stripping blades optimized for PV cables are new. Alright, we've stripped the two cable ends, and now we need to crimp them. And this is where our second innovation comes into play, our multi-crimp, as the multi-crimp PV version. The special feature of this one are the 3 dies, and that one of them is especially designed for MC4 and MC4 Evo 2, from 4 to 6mm squared in PV systems. It is very important that we have this lock in here, because it gives me the distance that I need to get into the magazine. The die in this case is at this point. Now I simply insert the pliers here. I make sure that this clearance always points to the die that I want. In this case, the middle one, the one for MC4 connectors and MC4 Evo 2 connectors. I press the silver button towards the center and then can remove the die. Now we have the die in here. Now remove the lock, press down, and we're ready to crimp. And that's what we're going to do now. We'll take our cable end, we'll take a contact. This is the counterpart. I'll unscrew it briefly, take out the seal, put the sleeve over it, put the seal over it, and now we'll crimp the whole thing. I like to do it like this. I take the contact and insert it. In this case, we're working with a 6mm squared cable, so I insert it in at 6mm squared and hold it just so that the contact remains in the pliers. Now, insert the cable end. Press down once, and it's crimped perfectly. Now we take our plug and push it over here until it clicks. Insert the seal, fit the sleeve, and now tighten it just once by hand. The correct tightening will follow shortly, and now we repeat the process with the second one. That means we take our crimp contact again and insert it into the multi-crimp PV. Now I insert the plug here, press down once, and this is also crimped. Insert the plug until it clicks into place, insert the seal, tighten the whole thing, and now, very important, please always make sure that you tighten it with the correct torque. We offer these tools specialized for MC4, for example. I simply put one over here, the second one sits at the back, and I turn it until it slips over and clicks. One, there it was once, one more time to check, and now we do the same with the other side. Push it over once, and tighten it until it slips over. And once, twice, it slipped over. Now we have fitted the two cable ends with the appropriate connectors, and we can connect the two solar panels together. With a multi-crimp PV, you can crimp PV cables, earthing conductors, and the wiring to the control cabinet in no time at all. 3 crimping dies come directly with the interchangeable magazine. 1 crimping die for uninsulated cable connectors in the 0.5 to 10mm square range. Another crimping die for insulated and uninsulated wire ferrules in the 0.25 to 6mm square range. And of course, the crimping die for the MC4 and MC4 Evo 2 connectors should not be missing, in the capacity range 4 and 6mm square. The precision dies in combination with the positive crimp mechanism ensure consistently high crimp quality. The interchangeable magazine has a practical belt clip and can be extended at any time with the dies already available. Also, the multi-crimp and magazine are now available empty, so you can equip it with exactly the dies you need from the 6 available ones. Now that we have connected all the panels outside, it's time to move on to the inverter. The MC4 Evo 2 plugs are used here. On the outside, we have the MC4 plugs. They are crimped in the same way. Now we just have to connect these and then everything is connected. Now that the two cables here are connected to the inverter, I'll move on to the control cabinet and show you the next two new products. Behind me, we have a control cabinet. And as you can see, there are lots and lots of cables in here. They all have to be stripped, and the best way to do that is with automatic wire strippers. And that brings us to our two new products. One is the 12-40-200 Evo strip, and the other is the 12-62-180 Com strip. Let's start with the Evo strip. We have not only improved the design, but also many details. Firstly, of course, we have introduced a two-component handle here, which means it sits very well in the hand, and with a raised collar, it doesn't slip from where I want to grip it. Then, the cable shears have been improved. I now have an arrow here so that I can see exactly where I can insert my cable and cut it. And I can now use them to cut stranded cables up to 10 mm square. The pliers can strip insulation from 0.03 to 10 mm square, just like you're used to. Position, press, and it's stripped. And it works just the same with 2.5 mm square, for example, or 6 mm square. As usual, I can set the length I want to strip using this slider, which we have also improved, because we can now strip up to 22 mm, which means that you can prepare the cables not only for use with normal wire ferrules, but also with extra long ones. There is an adjustment wheel so that I can adapt my pliers to different conditions, such as temperatures or insulation material. We have also optimized this. It is now not only legible from below, as it used to be, but also from the side. And the latching mechanism is also much more distinctive, so you can definitely feel and hear that it is correctly adjusted and latched. If you come closer, here are two arrows. This is how it is delivered. This is the neutral position. In this position, everything should work in principle. If that doesn't work, I then have the option of adjusting it by turning the wheel. And here you can hear the click and the individual detents very clearly. I can feel them very well. This way, I can cut a little deeper or less deep, always adjusted to my cable. We have also attached the whole thing to the side, so that I don't always have to turn the pliers around like this. This means that when this little arrow points to the line, I'm in the neutral position. And if I want to cut a little deeper now, I turn the whole thing in the plus direction. If I want to cut in less deeply, I turn the whole thing towards minus. And I can use the small arrow again to check that I'm in the neutral position. We can find another optimization at the jaws in the front. They no longer protrude, but are now flush. This gives you an even better overview of your cable as you insert it. And we have made another small change. There is now an eyelet at the bottom of the handle, so that you can secure your pliers when working at height. That's all the new features we've added to these beautiful pliers. They really feel very good in the hand. The handle width is optimal. The capacities have remained pretty much the same. Many things have been simplified, so just try it out. The Evo strip performs perfectly with high-quality, low-wear stripping blades, and the fiberglass reinforced plastic ensures long-lasting performance for thousands of stripping cycles without compromise. When worn, the blades can be replaced quickly and cost-effectively. The pliers have a setting wheel that can be precisely adjusted in fine increments. Due to the adjustable cutting depth, the Evo strip effortlessly masters even demanding installations, also in environments of extreme temperature fluctuations. The smooth running mechanism guarantees long-term performance and pleasant working conditions with low noise levels. An integrated fastening eyelet in the handle enables reliable securing of the tool when working at height. ANSI is compliant and compatible with the Knipex tethered tool securing system. The two-component handle with a raised non-slip collar in front of the cable cutter provides a reliable grip, versatile applications due to the generous stripping range of 5 to 22 mm. The cable cutter for copper and aluminium conductors offers maximum visual control. The exact cutting position is always visible due to highlighted marking. Clean cuts are guaranteed due to optimized cutting geometry for fine stranded conductors up to 10 mm square and solid conductors up to 6 mm square. We have also fundamentally revised the design and function of our 12-62-180 com strip. We have also included a two-component handle here, which fits very well in the hand and does not slip. This small design feature here ensures that it can be held perfectly with the index finger and middle finger and thus remain securely in the hand. The cable shears have also been redesigned. I now have the option of cutting stranded cable up to 6 mm squared, that's a 6 mm squared here, and solid cable even up to 2.5 mm squared. For stripping, I have a length of 6 to 18 mm that I can use. The entire capacity range goes from 0.2 to 6 mm squared. With these pliers, I am also able to react to external influences such as temperature fluctuations and different types of insulation by adjusting the cutting depth using this slider. By simply either pushing it forwards in order to cut a little deeper or pushing it backwards towards the minus side in order to cut less deeply. With the com strip, we offer you a compact and handy tool with a slim head for use in hard-to-reach work areas. The adjustable length stop from 6 to 18 mm ensures repeatable stripping lengths. It is robust but lightweight due to the fiberglass reinforced plastic tool body. The comfortable two-component handle with a soft zone ensures easy working and maximum power transmission. As you can hear, we are standing in front of a production machine here in our production facility. To ensure that these machines work perfectly and that you get your pliers, a certain amount of maintenance is required. For that, I have something for you, the new Cobra ES. Many of you are probably familiar with the normal Cobra and all of its features. The Cobra ES builds on this, but has one or two nice refreshments. As you can already see, the whole head is much narrower and longer. This gives me the great advantage that I can get into tight spaces where I simply can't get in with a normal Cobra, but I can with the Cobra ES. If you just lay them on top of each other here, you can really see how much narrower the Cobra ES is, but also how much longer it is when I turn it around. We have also changed the gripping area. For one thing, the capacity has increased. For round materials up to 40 mm across and up to 36 mm for hexagon screw connections. Furthermore, if you take a look here, we have redesigned the jaw geometry. That means that we have a transverse groove here which I can use to grip, hold and fix cotter pins, round materials or other round items, for example. If you look at the front of the mouth here, we have another profile change. This is there to give us a front gripping function, similar to the twin grip, although the twin grip is of course specially designed for this. Here I have the opportunity to grip something. I can approach this from the front, grip this round material, it stays in place, and I also have the opportunity to turn it a little. If you keep a close look at the mouth, we have absolutely parallel jaws here, which means that I can also grip in parallel, which is a bit more difficult with the Cobra. I simply take this material here and adjust it to fit. And can you see how it fits to the top? In this position, it has a 3-point support, so 2 up here, 1 down here. And if I adjust it a little further, I have a perfectly parallel system over the entire surface. But I can not only grip square edges and round materials with it, of course, I can also grip flat materials, something like this, perfectly. And as you can see, it fits really well. It's stable and it holds. These are all innovations that have been incorporated into the 250mm Cobra ES. But that's not all, because we often receive requests from you for different sizes. And what can I say, we have one for you now. The Cobra ES in the 180mm length, practically a little sibling of the 250mm version. The entire jaw area is designed in the same way. All functions such as the cross-gripping groove, the front gripping groove, parallel gripping, or even the hexagon head screws can be gripped perfectly with it. Everything is just a little smaller to fit into even smaller and narrower installation spaces. And we'll show you now where this is used. During maintenance, we noticed that this pneumatic line is leaking, and now we have to replace it. Normally, you would just go there with your fingers, push back the blue ring, and then I can pull the line out. Unfortunately, it's now very tight, and I just can't manage it with my fingertips. And that's where I can use the Cobra ES. I put it on here. Due to the slim head, I can really see what I'm doing, press against it, and can then pull the hose out. Another example is this central lubrication system. Here I have incredibly tight installation spaces, and I'll show you how the Cobra ES is used. The Cobra ES is ideal for these wonderful building spaces. As you can see, it fits perfectly between the narrow spaces due to the narrow head. And that means I can now grip it here and simply loosen it wonderfully easily, always in small steps, so that I can get in between. Now the whole thing is so loose that I can remove the brass screw connection completely so that it can be replaced. So, we've already got it out and now it can be replaced. As you've seen, the slim jaws allow me to get in there really easily. I can't do that with other pliers, which is why the Cobra ES, in this case in the 180 size, is a great problem solver. The fine adjustment of the Cobra ES enables optimum adaptation to the workpiece and the gripping width. The new cross groove ensures a secure grip on slender, round materials such as pins, cotter pins or nails. The new models have a larger gripping capacity and enable better frontal gripping of flat and round workpieces due to the optimized jaw design. It is self-clamping on pipes and nuts, so no more slipping on the workpiece, which makes your work so much easier. The adjustment can be made directly on the workpiece at the touch of a button. The hinge pin engages securely and cannot be readjusted unintentionally. The box joint ensures high stability. The 3-point support ensures optimum gripping, even of flat parts. The DP50 for cutting and chamfering of high temperature and many other plastic pipes with wall thicknesses of up to 2.4 millimeters has generated a lot of positive feedback. Thanks to your feedback, we have learned that in France, Spain, the Netherlands and many other countries, you often use thick-walled PVC pipes and core-formed PVC pipes for plumbing installations. This is where the DP50 reaches its limits. So, let's move on to our last new product for today, the DPT50. With the DPT50, we have developed a variant that copes particularly well with these thick-walled pipes. Let's take a closer look at the DPT50. To accommodate the pipe diameters 32, 40 and 50 millimeters, we have the same adjustment mechanisms here as with the DP50. Simply push it in here and I can adjust it very easily. You can see whether you have set the correct diameter here on this scale. 32, 40 or 50 millimeters. Let's grab a 40 millimeter pipe. In other words, I'll set this to 40 millimeters. Take the pipe. In order to be able to insert it, I have to press down the lever. As you can see, the blade retracts. And now I can insert the pipe perfectly. Now I let go, and the spring tension presses the blade against the material again. You can see very clearly whether you have inserted it in the right place. You have an arrow here which has two meanings. Firstly, it indicates whether I am cutting exactly where I want to, and secondly, it shows me the correct direction of rotation. This means that in this case, I have to turn the arrow towards me by turning the tool accordingly. Or the second option is that I turn the pipe in the opposite direction to the arrow. So let's just do that now. What you can see here is that we are cutting and chamfering in a single operation. I can see that wonderfully in the beautiful chips here. After a few turns, I've cut through the pipe. As you can see, I've not only cut it, but also chamfered it at the same time. Another feature is this wide support, which guarantees a right-angled cut. That means there are no slanted or crooked cuts. I always cut at a right angle, including the bevel, just as I need. And of course, I can cut not only PVC pipes, but also PVC foamed pipes. Let's do it now. Just press here, insert, and I can already turn here. And it works excellently again, cutting and chamfering in one step. With just a few turns, I've cut through this. After a number of cuts, the blade will eventually wear out, but I can easily replace it. I'll just go here. See the pin? I'll just push it in here with my fingers. I don't need any extra tools. Pull it out here. Then I'll place this here. And now I can easily remove the blade. If we take a look at the blade, you'll immediately see that I have two with me. That means the one I'm currently using and the second one I have handy as a spare. I'll just turn it over. Put it back in here. There, it's in. I'll take my bolt again, insert it, and move on. If that side is worn out as well, you can order a new one as a spare part. Once you've installed it, you can continue working right away. The DPT50 cuts PVC and PP pipes with wall thicknesses of 2.5 to 3.5 millimeters. It ensures optimal pipe guidance and easy cutting due to slide bearing and self-adjusting rollers. It's extremely durable and robust because the tool body is made of fiberglass reinforced plastic. The clear view of the cutting point allows for precise positioning. The blade is reversible and available as a spare part. So, dear friends of Quality Tools, that concludes this update. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did and are looking forward to our new products. Feel free to send us any ideas and suggestions by email or here in the comments. We'll see you again at the next Knipex update at the latest. See you soon and goodbye.